Hello, Days of Our Lives fans. This is for Monday, December 16th. Please like, subscribe, and share if you know someone who likes the show. Well, today is all about the court hearing between Xander and Phillip. Phillip and Vivian had forged that paper saying he intended for it to go to Phillip, but Phillip was presumed dead. Roman is glad to hear from Sean Douglas that he'll be staying in Salem since he got offered his old job back down at the station. And, Raymond's glad to hear it. Xander and, what's her name? Sarha are having a snuggy buggy morning. And they're a little stressed about the trial, but they feel positive about it. And meanwhile, Justin and Belle are trying to get people to testify on their client's behalf. So Belle wants Brady to testify about Xander trying to kill him, and he refuses to cooperate with her. And she said, well, you can cooperate, I'll just subpoena you. And he said something kind of nasty back to her, I don't know, so it made me think she's not going to subpoena him. But we'll see what happens. Justin is asking Maggie the same thing. Will she testify on behalf of Xander? She's like, she just don't want to get into it because she loves Xander and Phillip both. And they've both done bad things. So Sarha comes out. She's without her cane and everything. She's a walking, talking maniac now. And she says she's going to testify. Maggie stops by Brady's house to see if he wants to go to a meeting. And she tells him she's just trying to stay out of all this mess. And he said, that's what I told Belle. I'm not going against either one of them. I'm just staying out of it. Although I don't want to go against Xander. And I'm really on Xander's side. And I think Maggie is too, for that matter. So, meanwhile, Phillip is telling Kate, I need you to testify on my behalf and verify me. And she refused because I forget what her reasons was. But she says it just was no good. She doesn't want to get caught lying to Roman again. She just doesn't want to be dragged into it at all. Meanwhile, she's back talking to Roman, and in a few minutes his phone rings, and he looks at it and he's like, Statesville? Who's calling me from Statesville? So he's like, fine, I'll accept it. So he accepts it, and it's Vivian. And she's just chopping them jaws at him. And Kate's in the background, and she's starting to panic because she's wondering, is Vivian calling Roman to rat Kate out? So he's just listening to her, and we don't know what she said to him during that few minutes he had the phone. But Kate came up behind him and grabbed it and told Vivian to stay away from him. Roman walked away, and she told Vivian, look, you love Phillip, you don't want to mess this up with him, stay away from this mess. Meanwhile, Belle is asking Sean if he would testify on behalf of Phillip, and he said sure he would, because he felt like Victor wanted Phillip to have Titan. And they both just found out each other's staying in town after all. They just signed their divorce papers. So here they are in the courtroom, and they had some nasty words, and I swear Phillip is just so sarcastic. He is such an excellent actor. These little attitudes and facial expressions, he's hilarious. So she tells him that she couldn't get Brady to testify for him, and just different people, and she's like, where's Kate? And he's like, Kate didn't want nothing to do with it. Everybody's just bailing on everybody. But Sarha shows up to testify on his behalf, and we'll see what else happens. So everything seemed to go okay. This is the judge and her little stenographer, and Belle's given the evidence of the letter that Victor wrote that Vivian signed. And the other team, Justin's team, said we don't dispute the letter's his, that he wrote it. So it seems like Phillip would naturally get this back, but, I'm no lawyer. So, anyway, they all are looking like they're serious and stuff. So they end up, Belle calls in her witness, which is Sean Douglas, who decides, yes, he will testify on Phillip's behalf. He grew up, him and Phillip sort of together, and he watched Victor groom him to take over Titan one day. It was his dream to have Phillip run it. And he said that. He had a few other questions. Justin did. Man, I can't get them names straight. And then Sarha comes up to tell her rendition of Xander. And she admitted some bad things about him, but she was talking about what a good man he was and all this stuff. And she said, well, Belle was questioning her, and she said, well, now how did that picture get there? I do not know how that got back in there, and it's all stretched out for a long period of time. This is supposed to be Sarha. I might have put the wrong picture in there. And maybe she'll pop up. But that's exactly what I did. So Belle's asking her, talking to her, and she says, I will not lie for my husband. And she said, so far. So first, Justin questions her, and she talks about how Phillip hadn't even been around the family for years, and she was spilling all the dirt that Phillip had done and things he was accused of, and it was really just ticking Belle off, you could tell, because Xander has done many things. He's a lucky man to be on the outside for sure. But Belle questions her, and she says, well, so far you haven't had to lie. Are you prepared to swear under oath about how you knew that Xander tried to murder Brady twice? And then everybody just got really quiet, and the camera zoomed over on Xander, and he's like, what? You know, he didn't say anything. And that's it. That's a wrap. It went off today. Thanks for watching.